don't have a deep enough voice. You've got the teacher voice. Good evening. It is March 9th, 2026. Welcome everyone to the regular board meeting of the Oakwood School Board. Ms. Sauber, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. DiLorenzo.
Here.
Mr. Ryder Garcia.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Dr. Middleton.
Here. Please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, can I get a motion to adopt the minutes of our last meeting? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Sauber?
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Ryder Garcia.
Aye.
Ms. DiLorenzo.
Aye.
Dr. Middleton.
Aye. Okay, now can I get a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Sauber?
Mr. Ryder Garcia.
Aye.
Ms. DiLorenzo.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Dr. Middleton.
Aye. And moving on to item 2, reports and public comments.
Yes, I'd like to welcome everybody to the State of the Schools. I'm going to go ahead and shift over to the podium and continue our celebration over there. Okay, good evening. My name is Neil Gupta, and I get to serve as the superintendent for Oakwood Schools. This is our 3rd annual State of the Schools, and it just keeps getting better. It is not difficult for us to identify areas that we can celebrate across our 3 vision statements. For me, it's my 3rd time doing this, but for Wendy Barhorst, our community relations coordinator, it's her first time. And the slides that you're going to see, the videos you're going to see, the stories you're going to hear have all been curated and collected by Wendy. And I would be remiss if anybody walked out thinking that I had anything to do with this. I'm just the one who's speaking, and just want to first give a round of applause to Wendy for her hard work. You know, tonight, it's more than just a review. It's a chance for us to celebrate the incredible work from our staff, our students, and our community. And a lot of them are here in the audience tonight, and I'm very excited. There's a special invitation that was given to them, and I see a lot of them in the audience that had a lot to do with something we're going to be unveiling tonight. You know, it really starts out with each year, we try to think about a new theme for the year, and I underestimated this theme in particular, the idea about us being all in. And when you think about that from a sports metaphor, a sports theme, we think about the connotation of what's it mean to be all in. When you really think about, you know, just giving your energy, all you have for, especially a school district, your students every day, and how we can be here for each other. And this took off. You know, this was interesting. I had students that will stop me in the hallways and go, "Hey, Dr. Gupta, all in. I'm all in." And so somehow this got out and became kind of a mantra in classrooms and on sports teams also. And really what it does is it gives us a chance to be united with a common purpose, for us to be able to have conversations about what's it really look like really in every arena, you know, to thrive. And so when we think about our new mission statement that we unveiled last year, together we learn, together we achieve, together we prepare students for tomorrow. Again, it gives us an opportunity to think about how can we be where our feet are today, and also understanding of how we think about that trajectory of our students from kindergarten, pre-K, all the way up to grade 12, but then and beyond. And what does that look like? And we know when that happens, it takes a lot of heavy lifting by a lot of different people. And you're going to get to hear those stories tonight. Well, when we talk about our 3 vision statements, we have 3 of them. We talk about how we're elevating high-quality learning to challenge and inspire our students, the first one. The second one, it talks about the idea about safe, security, and welcoming environments where every child belongs. And then third, our effective and transparent operations talks about really how we're going to make sure those 2 things happen well. We got to think about the financial aspect to our schools, our facilities, and our communications and community relations that come along with that. And then finally tonight, after we talk about kind of some stories around those 3 vision statements, we're going to unveil something that we've been working on over the course of this year to shape our schools and our students through something called the Portrait of a Learner. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But really about, I hope you're going to hear out of these stories, it's really about partnerships and this partnerships that we have with our schools, the partnerships that we have amongst each other, and really it just becomes exciting when we think about that mantra of being all in. So high quality learning, if we talk about that, the things I want you to think about is that how do we balance rigorous academics with authentic experiences? I want you to think about that. We're not just going to be in this arena to make sure we've got great test takers, that we have kids that can be really great at bubbling in paper pencil tests. It's important for high academics to take place. At the same time, we want to make sure that they have got authentic experiences that are relevant, and make sure that they understand that it's going to shape their way of thinking and understand where they fit in the world around them. And so when we think about these stories, we could talk about the numbers. We could talk about the numbers about U.S. News and World Report, how we, at the junior high and high school, continue to rank #1 in the Dayton region, how we still are able to maintain those high standards when people are able to move into Dayton and seek that excellence that they're looking for. At the state level, there's a state report card with up to 5 stars, and we continue to rank with a 5-star rating on that state report card. This one's interesting. Of 105 honors diplomas that students received last year at graduation, there were 170 graduates. So that came out to more than 60% of our students are not only graduating, but graduating with honors diplomas, which means they're taking rigorous courses that come along with that. That translates to $8.5 million in scholarships. I just can't imagine as a parent for a second, knowing that investment of the time that the students have with studying, preparing, and making sure that they do things that are going to promote themselves for that future translates into the idea about dollars and money earned. But understand that it's not just about the numbers. I think it's important that we do look at the numbers, and we do, but I think it's also to take a step back and take a look at some of the stories that make those things come to life, those authentic experiences. One of them happened as I was just happening to walk into Harmon Elementary in the fall. Beautiful day, if you could imagine. If you've been to Harmon, there's something right kind of outside that main entrance called Gretchen's Garden. There are little fences, little cute fences that are around the different plants and flowers because they were protecting this living laboratory of butterflies that were is the word hatched? Is it? I don't know what's the word. What's the word, Sarah? We don't know. Okay. The students would know. I don't. What drew my attention were these little fences that were there, and students that were running. They were running before school started. They were congregating around these little fences, and they were starting to point at the bricks. And my eyes are a little bit old these days. It took me a little while to see that there were the cocoons that were starting to kind of be placed in the different places on the plants in the school outside the school building, and some of them like that had felt like it popped overnight sort of thing. And the students were just in awe of what was happening right there. I happened to have the opportunity and a chance for one of the butterflies to be there, and the teacher that was monitoring was able to talk with the students about what does that look like. Somebody from our community that was also there helping to tag these butterflies that then migrate, and hopefully somebody down wherever those butterflies were going to would be able to find out this one came from Oakwood, Ohio. And you talk about the idea about learning, and great learning happens in the classroom, and you talk about those relevant experiences that the students will probably remember forever, of things that just happen throughout naturally their lives, and even our teachers that help kind of use the outside to be a part of that instruction that happens. I saw the wonder in the students' eyes, the excitement that came in there, and all of a sudden I start talking to the librarian that said, yep, butterflies books became kind of the new thing, the hot topic that students wanted to check out more as that went along. Well, we could talk again about distinctions that we receive, and our nation obviously takes a notice. We are doing a lot of work around STEM in this district. It was a large draw when I was coming to the district that parents had asked me, what is going to be our STEM philosophy and what are we going to do to help bolster our students in the STEM pathways? And I can tell you that we've partnered with Jason Learning, a group called the STEM Champions, because you allowed us to add supplementals to have a designated person in each building work together to create to submit an audit of where is our current state of STEM in the district, and they got feedback on how we can do better in that area, in that trajectory that they had kind of described to be high performing. And they said that we get an emerging STEM credential that we received from Jason Learning. That was 2 years ago. Last year, wasn't sure where things were going. I wanted to submit a District Administration Leadership Institute award for the hard work that our team did, and we received another national award, and we were able to get an award of distinction from them as a finalist. Those are just two examples of the great things that are happening. What I want to do is I want to welcome Katie Papa, our gifted intervention specialist at the junior high and high school, who's also a STEM champion, to share a little bit more about the work that's happening with our STEM champions. Katie, come on up.
Good evening. My name is Katie Papa. Thanks for having me. So just telling you a little bit more about what we're doing with STEM in our district. So speaking as the GIS at our junior high and high school, I know what those experiences look like for us, but have also spoken and worked closely alongside with our elementary STEM champions too, so have a couple things to share about that too. So basically at Oakwood, our vision is to empower every student to be a persistent problem solver and an innovative creator. We're in the process of defining STEM to be more than just 4 subjects, but rather strategies that engage the mind. We believe that STEM belongs in every grade level for every student, not just high school. We know that many future jobs are going to be requiring a STEM focus, but we don't think that those roles require just a traditional university degree. They require a STEM mindset. Whether our students go into the medical field or the trades, we want them to be persistent problem solvers. By practicing these skills at every grade level, we're providing role models and real-world experiences and connections that can keep students motivated during the most critical learning years. So as a STEM champion, my role is to act as a bridge between our district's vision and the incredible work already happening in the classroom. We have partnered with Jason Learning, as Dr. Gupta said, and it's supporting us in creating a STEM vision and implementation plan and providing teachers with access to high quality tech-driven content that meets the state standards and some of our students' passions as well. So recently, I've been leading some professional development sessions to help colleagues navigate the Jason platform. We find them helpful because they're going to help differentiate instruction for all of our learners, not just gifted, but including gifted, who thrive on depth and complexity. And there's a lot of those tools with Jason. So it's about taking the heavy lifting off the teachers and providing them with a library of world-class activities so they can focus on what they do best, which is inspiring students. So what's exciting about the Jason platform is it's applicable to everything, not just the science lab, but we can use STEM in unexpected places. For example, in algebra, students can work on something called Design an Amusement Park to see linear units in action. Or an ELA teacher can use resources for public speaking and digital animation tools like Wik Editor. At our junior high and high school, we have so many opportunities for students to use strategies that engage the mind through our elective courses. If you walk into an interior design class, you'll see students managing actual clients. They actually ask teachers to be their clients, and we give them, specs of our house and ask them, to design something that we need. And that teaches them that high-level project management and communication. Down the hall in robotics class, where Mr. Thompson and I teach, it's all about computational thinking. So students aren't just building robots, but they are programming solutions to real-world challenges and learning that the first idea is not always the best one. They're learning how to pivot and refine their work. And finally, at the elementary level, we have been intentional about making STEM accessible. So our team has aligned Jason Learning activities directly with Bridges Math and Wit and Wisdom programs. And that allows our teachers to seamlessly weave the deep thinking and hands-on problem solving into those core subjects for the younger students who are already studying those things every day. Thank you for taking the time to hear a little bit more about STEM in the district.
We are lucky to have educators like Katie Papa in our district. Okay, so STEM is obviously an area that we continue to pursue. Also, the idea about innovation. What does innovation look like? And we know that we can't stay still when it comes to innovation. Sometimes we can go seek it out, and sometimes we realize that it's coming knocking on our door faster than we think, and we've got to have a prepared solution for it. And so we do know that artificial intelligence is reshaping the workforce, and then it's part of that mission statement of how we prepare students for tomorrow. We were working on some focus groups with some students one day, and I had a student, a high school student, ask me, when are the teachers going to help teach us about artificial intelligence? And she was eloquent and passionate, and she was spot on correct about the need that we need to have to help teach our students about the future with artificial intelligence. After she got done talking for about 2 or 3 minutes, I politely turned to her and said, before we can teach it to you, we have to learn it ourselves. And I think there was kind of a light bulb moment for her because there isn't a book on how to do this, properly, step by step. It's something we're kind of pursuing. So you'll see 2 faces on the left. Jenna Hill and Matt Sprode are co-leading this work as district administrators with this AI task force. It was opened up to all staff. They've been attending meetings that are helping to better understand, first of all, what is this thing called artificial intelligence, and what it's going to turn into eventually will be the creation of a roadmap that's going to help us to understand, how will we start to think about professional development with our staff? How can we help use it to leverage making the lives of our teachers and our educators a little bit better? And then how do we start to think about what does that look like to teach it to our students responsibly? And I keep using that word responsibly. I use the word, there should be tension when it comes to artificial intelligence. I think I use the word, it should be scary, like scary good, and also scary like this is something that could be a slippery slope and be used in a wrong way. I'm not running towards artificial intelligence like it's going to be the silver bullet or it's the easiest thing in the world to do. It's just knowing that we've got to manage that friction of something that have the potential of being helpful, but also it could be something that really could be disastrous. And how do we help do that properly with our students with the right context? And so don't have an answer for you today on how we're gonna go about doing that, but we're gonna continue to kind of pursue that as a staff and as that task force that you see right there. Also want to just kind of share again, just like Katie Papa, even with the best technology, the heartbeat of our district remains our educators. And so I was able to write a blog and see one of our junior high math teachers, Karen Lauerbach, receive the Linda M. Gojak Award from the Ohio Council of Teacher of Mathematics. They happened to have their state conference here in Dayton, Ohio. So it was neat to be able to go travel and see her get this award. Teaching our students that learning that mistakes are opportunities is what she really prides herself on, that there's a data point to learning that takes place. And what I want you to hear is from the quiet wonder of a butterfly garden to the frontiers of artificial intelligence, our purpose is clear. We are helping to create learning experiences for our students that will have meaningful today and essential for tomorrow. And that's just a little bit of a couple examples that you'll see on that first vision statement of high quality learning. The second vision statement looks at safe, secure, and welcoming environments. And we talk about the idea about this goes, from kind of a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Before a student can be actualized in the brain of learning, they have to feel safe. Like they have to know that, I'm not going to get bullied, that there's going to be no threat that comes to me, that I'm going to feel safe to say and speak up for things that I want to speak up about, and that I feel like I have a sense of belonging. I have a trusted adult and friends that are beside me that are going to be in this learning thing together. And all of that has to take place in this vision statement. So really, to be honest with you, when we think about safety, we think about creating a culture where every student feels sane, safe, heard, and then valued. And we talk about the idea about connections and emotional well-being. We have things like Hope Squad that come into play. Hope Squad is a peer-to-peer support program that happens at the high school level. We have students that are supporting other students with mental health. We've got counselors, we've got mental health specialists, but sometimes students just need peer interaction to understand it's okay. And so our students get trained on how to do that, and then we create a safe space and environment for them to be able to interact with each other. Another example is Acorns and Achievements that happens at Lang. Community members share their knowledge and stories where we understand that belonging means that knowing that your voice matters. The third one that I want to kind of tout, I think, which is really neat, is this Kitchen Council at Smith. Where was this when I was in school? Students become ambassadors, I'll use the phrase. Ambassadors meet with the food service staff over there, and they get to try out different recipes or some of the different products, and they can rate that. Yes, this is something that should be served and added to the menu, or let's not go with this one. And it's just giving them a place to feel a part of that school community versus it being something that's done unto them. So kind of small, but actually has big dividends, and students feel safe and seen through that. When we talk about bonded by excellence, we look at the idea about finding our place means finding a challenge that you love. And our kids get challenged and they love it. They keep gravitating towards it. I get to see firsthand through our Oakwood Junior High School that students get to tackle problems. Imagine this, 50 to 60 junior high kids giving up their lunch, being with their peers, informally sitting somewhere, but actually going into a classroom, and they've actually outgrown the classroom, and now they're starting to meet in the orchestra room, and they're taking math tests over the lunch hour, not because they have to, but because they want to. And I was a high school math teacher, and I got nervous. I mean, it was like pin drop quiet. It was nervous. Don't ask me how I did on my math test. I didn't do so well. Not only did the kids beat me, but Mr. Badenhop was competing that day also, and he got a perfect score. So I've got to get the nervousness out, and I think I'm signed up for this week for a rematch. Rematch? All right, he's good. All right, we're gonna go for it. We've got parent volunteers that help staff that help be in a place for students to be able to take these opportunities, that they want to do that. It's growing. We've got students at the elementary level that are starting to participate in this and actually are starting to compete at that regional and state level. We have students that are part of the Quiz Bowl. I was actually, in my third year, I learned that we have something called a Quiz Bowl, and how I got alerted to it back in the fall was because one of the headlines in the Oakwood Register was that they qualified for nationals, and this was in the fall. And I was just really astounded by that. Met with Mr. Cowan, the advisor, got to see 2 competitions, and our students were amazing at just the amount of information that they have and can retain more than I ever could. Our academic decathlon team has won its 15th consecutive regional title. 15. I don't know how many times I can do anything like annually, do well at it, and they did it 15 times in a row. Speech and debate just had a great showing. Last year, they won for the first time ever the state championship. And when I wrote this on my notes last week, when Wendy wrote the notes, last week, it was first ever state championship. Well, this is outdated because over the weekend, they just achieved their second state championship. So twice in a row is amazing. Absolutely. And perfect timing, and I'm glad you applauded because I've got Linda Lee here, who is one of the co-advisors for speech and debate, also a junior high math teacher, who's I'm going to ask to come up and share a little bit about her work with the speech and debate. Come on up, Linda.
Hi, everyone. Oh, good thing I wore heels today. All right, so my name is Linda Lee. I am one of the head coaches for Oakwood High School's speech and debate team alongside Steve Stanley, who is a longtime community member and former Oakwood parent. Speech and debate is one of the largest and longest standing academic activities in the nation, but it also helps prepare students for life after high school. Am I staticky?
Step back over
Step back. Okay. Through this activity, our students are developing critical thinking, research, and communication skills, which will set them up for success after leaving Oakwood City Schools. But ultimately, beyond the skills and the successes, we also take the most pride in the community that our students have built. It's a team culture where students all feel supported, connected, and valued. As a former speech and debate competitor in high school and also at the college level, I cannot vouch for this activity enough. Last year, we made Oakwood school history by earning the title of OSDA state champions, including crowning co-state champions in Lincoln Douglas debate, Tristan Williams and Robert Einhorn. This past weekend, like Dr. Gupta mentioned, we defended our title at the OSDA state tournament, and Oakwood Speech and Debate is now back-to-back state champions, with senior Cameron Lindsay earning the title of state champion in Lincoln Douglas debate once again. We are incredibly proud of these accomplishments, but we know that a state championship win is only possible because of the hard work that our competitors put in, but also because of the support of our community. Looking ahead, we are using the momentum from our state championship win in two different ways. So the first way is we're looking towards growing the program and looking towards our future. Two of our captains, Anna Peters and Abby Saxon, have launched our first ever junior high program for students interested in speech and debate, and giving them the opportunity to develop these skills at a younger age. These younger competitors represented Oakwood at the OSDA Middle School State Championship this past February, and we are so proud of our first-year program at the junior high level. The second way that we're trying to build our momentum is by looking towards the future with our success in the postseason. This year, we qualified a record-breaking 37 students to the high school state tournament, and then a select group will also be representing Oakwood at the national tournament in Richmond, Virginia this upcoming June. The success of our team stems directly from the dedication of our students, and we look forward to how this program will continue to expand at both the high school and the junior high level. So as our students find their voices through speech and debate, they are embodying key characteristics of what I see as an Oakwood learner while becoming an impactful member of our school community. We are excited for the growth of our program and to celebrate the continued success of our students. Thank you all so much.
And I would not expect her to do this, but in addition to all the accolades of a state championship by the team and the Lincoln Douglas debate, champion, they also have a advisor award, or is that what I'd call it, a coach award or an advisor award or something like that, right, Linda? Who won this year? It was Linda. Linda received that too. Nice work. Proud of her. So proud of her. That's awesome. So we know that in addition to the academic accolades of how students feel like they're part of their school community, we also know that athletics also plays a key role in it. And so for the first time ever, girls cross country were state champions, and that was thrilling to see them on for a victory. Just for you to note, over 90% of our students are scholar athletes. So when you think about the idea about getting up early, going to school, practice, then having to come back and do homework and all those kind of things, especially during that season, that typical season, to be able to keep their academics high is sometimes tough. Over 90% of our students were scholar athletes over the previous year. That's tremendous. So that's on the social emotional side. When we think about safe, secure and welcoming environment, we think about also the physical safety that comes along with it. I use that phrase of, I'm not sure I can always guarantee student safety. It's just, don't have enough bubble wrap to bubble wrap our students all the time. But we talk about the idea about adding layers of protection. And so I never want to kind of rest on that we did this and we did this in this 10 years ago. Want to make sure that we think about how we're looking at our different strategies. One of them is the traffic flow that happens around Harbin Elementary now is the same as Smith Elementary, with no turns during the day, and it's difficult because sometimes we'll get people will forget that. But we're really just trying to keep people safe. We see e-bikes kind of escalating. It's starting to get warm back outside. The number of e-bikes that are out there, they go really fast, and it is really scary on these tight streets. And so we continue to try to teach our students about safety and remind students about safety and crossing streets and looking up and about e-bike safety and that sort of thing. But it is something that we've got to take seriously. The other one is cybersecurity. Matt Sproat actually just shared some cybersecurity updates at our board work session just previous to this meeting, and just talking the idea about what does that look like for us to think about people that want to possibly hack into our systems and do terrible things when it comes to maybe either student information or ransomware. But what can we take a look at? We do have a student-led group called the Cyber Patriots, believe it or not, that are actually working on the idea about safety when it comes to that. And so even at that young age, that they're using the computers to help think about how they can help keep things safe in that respect. So Building Connections also looks at something that we believe is very, very important here at Oakwood Schools. We call it the 3 R's. You'll see posters at all of our schools that help remind our students and our staff and our community about respect, responsibility, and relationships. And so we think about that when we think about things like different groups that we have, our Little Buddies Club, Timber, and Rocks, ruling our experiences that help build connections across grade levels. And in this district, we want be a place where every student is safe to learn, that they are able to grow, and they just simply be themselves. Sometimes you just want them to feel like they can be in their own skin. So that ends our third vision statement. Our third vision statement is about effective and transparent operations. And we really want to be committed to being good, ethical financial stewards of the resources that are provided to us. I really think of stewardship and being a servant to the community when it comes to that. And when we think about effective and transparent operations, we realize that those are the backbones of a successful school district. If I talk about a little bit about the Phase 2 Master Facility Plan update, we talk about the idea about how the Master Facility Plan is about the integrity of preserving our iconic buildings, address the critical infrastructures needs that we have now in Phase 2 with Smith and Harmon, and then all the necessary upgrades that need to happen across our district. Last fall, we received good news that the scope of what we thought was possible actually has changed for the better, that we thought that we'd be able to do some targeted renovation work. And because of the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission, we were able to access state dollars 5 to maybe 10 years earlier than expected in today's dollars, so we could do complete renovations at Smith and Harmon. So the state will be able to co-fund 29% of our OFCC eligible renovation costs because we were able to enter into this partnership and not only do the things that we had promised the community based on the last bond last May, but also be able to tackle things like windows, flooring, and furniture, and be able to give a space that our students will be able to excel in. And so we're thinking about a better product for the same taxpayer investment. I'd like to introduce our business manager, Frank Eaton, who is going to share some more of how this unexpected news will impact us. Frank.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Let me start off by apologizing. My allergies have really kicked in probably about 2 hours ago, so might get a little bit of sniffles. It's not getting emotional. But so there are two, maybe three huge changes based on the news that we got last year with the switch from what we called ELP to CFAP, which is a full renovation project. One of those is our timeline changed. So initially we were looking at potentially starting the project this coming summer, completing the project at the end of next summer with a full renovation, with waiting a little bit for some of the approvals from the state. That timeline changed a little bit. It changed quite a bit, but because of the scope. So where we are at right now, we are actually in the procurement process of our AE, which is architect engineer, our design team, and construction managers. So we have what's called RFQs out for that, which is kind of the bidding process. Those close on Wednesday of this week at noon, and so we will start to select who our architect is, who our construction manager is, and at that point, design, once we've got to go through that process. It takes probably about a month and a half to fully work through that process, and then design really begins immediately. And what design includes is exactly the work that is going to happen. It's the phasing plan of how we are going to do that. We don't know. I've had a lot of people ask me that, or, the picture before showed, Smith and Harmon. The work of this project is at Smith and Harmon. We've had people ask, like, are we attacking both buildings at the same time? Are we going to do one then the other? We honestly don't know those things yet because that is all part of that design process. And then the procurement of all of the contractors. So that is part of that too. So we don't know who's going to be doing the electric work right now, who's going to be doing the abatement work. That is all part of that design process and has a very formal piece to that. And then what work we're going to be doing is as Dr. Gupta said, is a full renovation of Harmon and Smith. So initially it was going to be targeted, what we call MEP, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. So the HVAC, it's really the work that we did here at this building back in 2020. The HVAC, an electrical upgrade, a bunch of plumbing work, the inside the walls stuff that you don't really see. Obviously, this room is very different. This was an addition after that, right? This is kind of that fully renovated kind of room and how it would operate though. And so other pieces that includes, it really focuses on health and comfort. There'll be a significant amount of hazardous materials abatement as part of that project. When you switch to CFAP with OFCC, sorry, it's a lot of letters, but they're alphabet soup. But when you switch that, you have to do what they consider a full renovation. So they do not consider a building to be fully renovated unless it is free of hazardous materials. So initially, our previous plan was to attack very targetedly, and where we were going to have to put a hole in a wall. If there was, asbestos in that wall, then we would target at that area. With this, we have to be proactive and remove all of the asbestos and all of the other hazardous materials, which is really exciting to me because then as we go in the future, as we have other things, or if we have an issue with, knock on wood, that's not wood, but if there's a roof leak or things like that. Right now, the first thing we have to do is look at, okay, is there asbestos? Is there this? Is there that? That won't be a concern going forward once this project is done, which is really exciting. It includes that full HVAC upgrade to have modern heating and air conditioning throughout the buildings. Both of those buildings have very limited air conditioning right now and very outdated heating. As the board office is in the basement of Smith, we're learning firsthand. It's about probably anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees difference between the basement and the second floor. But it's the old radiant heat that some of you may still have in your homes. It's plumbing, it's flooring, and improving those. It's windows, which is really important when we talk about the building envelope and being energy efficient and keeping that conditioned air in. And then it's furniture and making the furniture modern. And upgrading all of that. There are a laundry list of other things, but it really is a full upgrade of the entire building. All in all, that is a $57.5 million project. As you remember, if you remember, the bond that we went for was $40 million project. So this is a lot more work. That did include some other things. There's some work to Matt Cummin, baseball, softball, a little bit of work here at the high school, junior high. Was in that $40 million as well. We are still working to do those things, and the timeline of those have changed a little bit as well. But with this project, we are now looking at what I call hammer swinging and actual work happening starting summer of 27, so next summer, with the expectation of substantial completion, which is really when we take over the buildings and it's just punch list kind of items at the end of the summer of 29. So it will take just over 2 years. So 3 summers, 2 school years, and then we should have those fully updated buildings. And then a couple advantages of partnering with OFCC. It's a state government, or it's a state institution. There are some things that's a little more challenging because we have to navigate, for example, the online system for procurement. Dr. Gupta and I are still waiting on our logins for that, and so hopefully we get them by Wednesday when we're supposed to have those. And there's things like that. However, the biggest advantage is the dollars. They're bringing $18.3 million to the table that we don't have to ask residents for at all. Some of that is credit that we earned in 2020. And then the rest of that is just their 29% portion of the current work. But that $18.3 million, as Dr. Gupta said, we're accessing right now. We didn't expect to be able to access that till 2030, 2031 at the earliest. So being able to access that money would not have grown. It still would have been 18.3 million. 18.3 million right now pays for a lot more than I guess it will in another 5 to 7 years. We also get some additional project management. They provide that at no cost, and additional quality control. They've been through a lot of projects, a lot of those things. Obviously, this is newer to us. So there's just some advantages that we have from partnering with OFCC. Thank you.
I hope in those 3 minutes you've come to realize what I did as far as like Frank Eaton is my lifeline, like just immense knowledge of things, is able to I think about spinning plates and how you have to spin 1,000 plates at once. He does that. He does a great job of just trying to manage all the different things that are happening across a district, and he does a great job doing that. So thank you. So in addition to the facility great news, we also are strengthening our financial position through the hard work of our finance office, Laura Connors here and Laura Saber. We were able to get a new credit rating with Moody's. We were upgraded from a AA2 to a AA1 credit rating. If that means anything to you, that is great news to finance people. What that means to me is the next piece of information I asked was, well, how many districts in the state of Ohio have this AA1 credit rating? 31. There are about 660 districts in the state of Ohio. Only 31 of them have a AA1 rating. It is a big deal. We were cited large in part because of our exceptional local community support as the major reason for this upgrade. So thanks to our community for that. What that meant is that when it came time to sell the bonds, it meant that we were going to get more money on the dollar for it. And that means that we can get more money directly into the classrooms rather than into those investment payments that took place. When we talk about communication, last year we did an overhaul of our district website. I don't know if you've been to the district website in a while. I still get random emails, or other district leaders from other school districts will come up to me and say, we have modeled our website off of yours. You have one of the best websites in the state, if not nation. Seriously, we've got one of the best, and it really has some great information. You're able to access it, and the trick is not just that you can access, like it's there, but that you can actually find it. And there's been some great work around that. But similarly to the website on the athletics end, the athletic website this year got a major makeover due to the hard work of our athletic director, Tyler Rodas, and now it is phenomenal. You can still go to our district website, and one of the main buttons is the athletics, and if you click on that, you're going to get schedules, you're going to get recent news updates, and you're going to get just to know things that are happening on that front, and it just, again, is another piece in a way for us to communicate with our families. So from securing state funding to achieving top-tier ratings, we're working every day to manage your investment with integrity. So I think the reason many of them are here in our audience is because one of the major pieces that we have for tonight is to talk about the incredible learning environment and supportive environments that we have that helps to facilitate and serve our students, is really making our mission statement come to life. And so there's something out there called a portrait of a graduate that is, what does a community want in its graduate when it comes time for them to think about them leaving the doors. And I'll be honest with you, and so this is a national, initiative, I would say, that occurs. I don't like the idea of a portrait of a graduate. It has a connotation of just high school. And so we talked about the phrase of developing a portrait of a learner. And so what does that look like for a student, even while they're at school? I don't like it when we sometimes talk about when you graduate and you go to the real world, because students are solving some really complex things and doing phenomenal work, even as they're still students. But really the question comes down to is, in the city of Oakwood, in our Oakwood community, how do we want to define what a successful student looks like? What are those dispositions and mindsets that we want our students to possess and have? And what are the hopes and dreams that come along with that? We talk about a portrait of a learner being almost like a North Star that we want students to aspire to. It's not something about just advanced students can only get there, but it's something that with training and coaching and support from staff, our community, and their peers, it's something that all students could aspire to have. And so I'm really proud to share with you our portrait that's going to come tonight. Mr. Badenhop's going to have some handouts, and then we've got a video that you're able to see. I don't know if you want to click it. At Oakwood Schools, we know that to prepare our students for tomorrow, we have to define what matters today. That is why we embarked on a journey to create our Portrait of a Learner. This vision is built on the answers to 3 important questions. What are our hopes and dreams for our young people? What skills and mindsets will they need for success in an ever-changing world? And how should these priorities shape what happens in our classrooms and school community? To bring this vision to life, we are looking for more than just a list of traits. The Portrait of a Learner will be our compass for how we design lessons, support students, and measure success. While academic excellence will always be essential, today's graduates also need to think critically, solve complex problems, communicate effectively, work well with others, and adapt to change.
I think it's essential for the school to teach these competencies because these are skills that you can take into any career. So they're not specifically focused towards if you're going to be a chemist or something like that, but anything you do in your life, you can take these skills with you.
When you think about the whole student, grades, test scores, they're kind of a snapshot in time. But the Portrait of a Learner, kind of on the other side, is what we want the whole student to be from kindergarten all the way to their senior year.
We knew a portrait is only as strong as the voices that shape it. So we didn't just create this in a bubble. We sought the support of representatives from all corners of the district, a dedicated core team made up of students, staff, parents, and community members who played a very big part in this process. They worked alongside us to synthesize feedback from focus groups, surveys, and work sessions to ensure that this vision reflects the authentic hopes and dreams of Oakwood.
I think involving the whole community is important because we get a lot of diverse perspectives, students, teachers, parents, community members that have different life experiences and different backgrounds, and they can bring all of that to the table, and it gives a much more robust Portrait of a Learner when we consider all these different perspectives.
I believe that it's important to give back to the community in which you belong. So I think I was grateful to be a part of this and give back and kind of help shape the future of Oakwood students.
I think it felt very empowering knowing that adults wanted to hear my voice.
Thank you for helping us to create this map. This is the standard we strive for. This is the future we are building. This is the Oakwood City Schools Portrait of a Learner. So we have people that are in the audience that were part of our core team. I'm going to ask them to stand up so you can be recognized, and we're going to give you a round of applause. Stand up if you were on the core team. So this is just the beginning. This is the unveil night. This is not something that can be, implemented in a day or a week or something like that. This is going to take us a little bit of time. So I'm going to ask for permission that this becomes our initiative for the next 3 to 5 years. It's going to take that long because we really want to make sure we're moving away from compliance to commitment, and we want students to feel like they own this, and we want our staff to feel like that they own this, and our community has deep conversations. I use the phrase, I want students to roll their eyes when they go, oh my gosh, I hear this at home and I hear this at school, and my teacher last year talked about this, and my current teacher talks about this, and I see it everywhere. That's what we really want to do, is we want to saturate it. But with that said, I also realize we're in the month of March. We're heading to spring break, and our goal is also to complete the school year out. So it may feel a little bit that we're going to kind of go into hibernation. We're going to do a little bit of early talking with our staff possibly this spring about it, and then let the summer happen, and then pick this back up and become our major initiative in the fall. And so asking for that permission, that runway to be able to do that. It really wouldn't happen without educators and staff members, community members and parents. We had students on on this. Probably one of the most fun initiatives that I've got to work on because it was so collaborative and really kind of, I guess, epitomizes, I think, the work that we do here in the community. So with that, I want to go ahead and close out this year's State of the Schools to thank our Board of Education. Thank you formally for allowing us the opportunity to dream, the opportunity for us to build new initiatives that help meet the needs of our students. We know that we have our PTOs, the Oakwood Schools Foundation, volunteers that just go above and beyond every day for our students, and I'm just truly thankful. So thank you for everything, and another round of applause for our presenters tonight. And if you give me a couple moments, I'll go back to my seat and we'll pick up the rest of this meeting.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Gupta, for the State of the Schools. It's always so exciting to hear all the amazing things that are being done across our district. So, okay, so moving on, are there any board reports? Okay, and item 4, budget and finance.
Thank you. Good evening. Hard to follow up the state of the schools, but I will do my best here. So for your consideration tonight, item 4A on the agenda is just your informational monthly financial report from February. Item B is a resolution to approve Omni and TSA Group as for compliance services as our third-party administrator. This will be for our 403B and 457 annuity services. We're making a change in the third-party administrator.
Great, thank you. Can I get a motion to approve item 4B, please?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Sauber?
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Ryder Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. DiLorenzo? Dr. Middleton?
Aye.
Item 4C is an annual resolution that we bring to you to approve the amounts and rates for tax year 2026 for collection in 2027. This is a county auditor compliance piece that I bring to you every year in March.
Can I get a motion to approve item 4C, please? So moved.
Second.
Ms. Sauber?
Ms. DiLorenzo? Aye. Mr. Ryder Garcia?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Dr. Middleton?
Aye.
And then finally is a then and now certification for a purchase order for services for our some of our software that just happened a little out of order in terms of the invoice came before the purchase order was in place. So this is just that compliance piece that we need from you.
Can I get a motion to approve item 4D, please?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Sauber?
Mr. Ryder Garcia?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Ms. DiLorenzo?
Aye.
Dr. Middleton?
Aye. And moving on, is there any unfinished business by the board? Any new business by the board? Item 7, administrative reports and superintendent recommendations.
Yes, thank you. Number 7, letter A, is just informational, presenting to you for review the 2026-2027 elementary, the junior high, high school, and the athletic student handbooks. Tonight, it's just for you to take a look at. It's posted on our website in the board docs, and then I'll be coming back on April 6th for a formal recommendation for approval. Letter B is a field trip. It's also informational. I looked over all the information for our 5th grade students at Harmon to go to Camp Joy. All the paperwork is in order, and I'm excited for them to have the best couple days of their life in 5th grade. Weather's going to be amazing. I went ahead and took care of it. You'll be fine. Letter C is an action item. It's a resolution with the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission to enter into a resolution to accept the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission Classroom Facilities Assistance Program, Segment 1.
Can I get a motion to approve item C, please?
So moved.
Second. Ms. Sauber?
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Ms. DiLorenzo? Mr. Ryder Garcia? Dr. Middleton?
Aye.
Letter D is the policy that we had for fall, volume 44, number 1, November 1st. I brought them to you last month for review, and tonight coming for a formal approval.
Can I get a motion to approve item 7D, please?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Sauber?
Mr. Ryder Garcia.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Ms. DiLorenzo.
Aye.
Dr. Middleton.
Aye.
Number 7, letter E, is the motion to approve a resolution to create criteria for the Barrett Kemp Scholarship.
Can I get a motion to approve item 7E, please? So moved.
Second.
Ms. Sauber?
Ms. DiLorenzo.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Ryder Garcia.
Aye.
Dr. Middleton.
Aye.
And finally, letter F in number 7 is a contract recommendation to approve the contract with Miller Diversified Construction to provide owner's representation for the Oakwood City Schools CFAP project.
Can I get a motion to approve item 7F? So moved.
Second.
Ms. Sauber?
Ms. DiLorenzo.
Aye.
Mr. Ryder Garcia.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Dr. Middleton.
Aye. And moving on to item 8, personnel items, resignations, and non-renewals.
Yes, we'll go ahead and take letters A through B under one motion. I'll go ahead and read them. Letter A is the recommendation for the resignation of Tiffany Fitch, and for her position as an educational aide at Smith Elementary. Letter B is a resignation for Chelsea Broxma for her position as an administrative assistant to me, the superintendent, effective March 20th.
Great, thanks. Can I get a motion to approve item 8, A and B, please?
So moved.
Second. Ms. Sauber?
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Ms. DiLorenzo.
Aye.
Mr. Ryder Garcia.
Aye.
Dr. Middleton.
Aye. And moving on to number 9, personnel items recommendations.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take number 9, letter A through H under one motion. I'll go ahead and read them. Letter A is the supplemental contracts and volunteers 2025-26. There are 2 positions. Letter B is amending the supplementals 2025-2026 for our volunteer wrestling coach. Letter C are supplemental contracts and volunteers for the 2026-27 school year. Letter D is additional hours to pay part-time OTs Ann Klein, Karen Stevens at their hourly rate for up to an additional 20 hours effective January 1st, 2026 for the completion of evaluations. Letter E is regarding overnight duties for Washington, D.C. It's made to pay following staff members for overnight duties at Washington, D.C. at the established substitute teacher pay rate, Tom Roush and Jessica Walther. Letter F is the recommendation to pay Debbie Drake $700 for services performed as an accompanist for the high school choir during the first semester of the 2025-26 school year, be paid from the vocal music student activities account. Letter E is a recommendation to employ Chelsea Broxma for up to 5 hours per week to assist with the superintendent's office per attached hourly rate from March 30th, 2026 to April 30th, 2026. Letter H is a recommendation to approve the list of substitutes for the 25-26 school year pending completion of required documents.
Can I get a motion to approve item 9, letters A through H, please?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Sauber?
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Ryder Garcia.
Aye.
Ms. DiLorenzo.
Aye.
Dr. Middleton.
Aye. And moving on to item 10, executive session. We're actually skipping this because we went into executive session and exited prior to this meeting. So moving on, I need a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
Ms. Sauber?
Ms. DiLorenzo.
Aye.
Mr. Ryder Garcia.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Dr. Middleton.
Aye. That's it. Thanks all. Thanks all. Have a good evening. Bye.